Good morning, Paulie.
Great morning, Ben.
Great morning.
Great morning.
You got the rally roach over there. I
Oh.
kissed the roach yesterday.
Mwah. There's our rally roach.
The rally roach seems to still be in effect here. As it was electric last night at Petco Park.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely electric. The record crowd, over 47,000, the biggest crowd in the history of Petco Park, officially 47,559 people. I mean, we got to be straining like the what is possible for a baseball game. How many people can you get in Gallagher Square and in the concourses for a game?
Right.
And from the sound of it and the look of it in the stands, 70 to 80% Padres fans, I would say. Yeah, there were some Dodgers fans there. They got to cheer a little bit early, and then not again after the top of the first inning. It was all Padres excitement as they slowly made their way back all the way to the ninth inning. Oh yes, we've got all the calls for you of the incredible home runs in the ninth inning to tie it, and then the walk-off by Donovan Solano. Pinch hit. I mean, Mike Schilt pulling all the strings in the bottom of the 10th inning.
How fantastic is that?
Give the Padres a 6-5 win on a day that you thought, all right, they're going to lose a second one here, and now, all right, they're going to – every other team in the wild card race won yesterday. This is not the way you want to get your post-trade deadline last 2 months of the season started, but instead it goes down as another fantastic victory in a season that is starting to be chock full of them. I mean, just the memorable wins going all the way back to the 8-0 comeback against the Cubs way back in April. I mean, there are a lot of
7 walk-offs?
7 walk-offs, 4-1 in extra inning games.
Man.
I mean, this team could not be more opposite of the 2023 Padres from last year.
Yeah.
All the magic they did not have last year seems to have found its way into the Padres clubhouse this year.
I can't really explain it, but it's there. It's absolutely there. I think yesterday it had strong vibes of 2022. Acquiring Juan Soto at the trade deadline. Padres made a lot of splashes yesterday at the trade deadline. Nothing crazy like bringing in a guy like Juan Soto, but by all accounts, one of the biggest, if not the biggest winner of the trade deadline. And then remember in 2022, the grand slam by Brandon Drury, like Petco Park was just on fire. Everyone's like, we're never losing again.
Sure. Jorge Alfaro, all the walk-offs,
yeah, you
LFGSD.
kind of felt like that a little bit last night.
I mean, the magic was extremely high in 2022. It led them all the way to the National League Championship Series eventually. The magic was completely missing last year. I mean,
It was never there.
There may have been no less magical season in baseball than last year's Padres season. Every one-run game, every extra inning game.
Like even
No comebacks, no nothing last year. Nothing worked out for the team last year.
even 2021 with the, what did Peter call it, a once-in-a-generation
Collapse.
once-in-a-millennium collapse. That first half of the year still had plenty of memorable moments. I remember being there, like, sweeping the Dodgers in June, and you're thinking, oh, we're the favorites to win the World Series this year. Didn't happen. In just epic fashion, they collapsed. But last year just really didn't have any magical moments at all.
I mean, I think
We had like a
David Dahl,
Kim-
Ha-Sung Kim
walk-off
walk-off
in
on
April.
like April 3rd or whatever it was. And then
Yeah.
it's like, all right, here we go. We're carrying the momentum from 2022 right into 2023. That was pretty much it until the last couple of weeks of the season when it was too late. So, they keep it going. There's definitely a confidence, something that, maybe it's Jackson Merrill, maybe it's Mike Schilt. What's that different? I mean, a lot of the players are the exact same players that were there in that 2023 season, but just having a seemingly completely different attitude in 2024. And again, one win doesn't change the course of a season, but it certainly is more than just, hey, a one-off kind of game, because they've done this many times over the course of the year now, and just continuing a trend. We will talk about it pretty much for the next 5 hours. Well, you and I for 4.
Yes.
And then we've got the roundtable roundtable coming up this morning at 10 o'clock when we'll be joined by Annie and Elston, Gwen and Chris, and Sammy Levitt's going to be in for Woodsy on the roundtable today when we'll discuss the trade deadline moves and the final 2 months of the season coming up for your San Diego Padres, who have one more against the Dodgers today. We were just going through it because I wasn't sure, and Paulie confirmed it for me. Padres need one more win against the Dodgers to clinch their first season series against that team since 2010. 14 years ago was the last time the Padres took a season series from the Dodgers. They're now 6-3 against LA this season with 4 games remaining. 1 today at Petco Park, 3 more in Los Angeles later in the year. And if they win any of them, 7 wins would clinch the season series. Not that that gets you to the playoffs, not that losing a season series to the Dodgers prevents you from getting to the playoffs, but it will be nice, hopefully, to turn the tables on an organization that has owned the Padres, at least in the regular season, outside of the 2022 playoffs, that's just owned you for 14 years now, and you finally have a chance to, and this year especially, when the Dodgers had all the hype going into the year with Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto and the moves that they made in the offseason.
Yeah, they spent $69 billion this offseason. And
the Padres cut payroll by close to $100 million.
Yeah.
And this is the year that the Padres finally, break the streak against the LA Dodgers. Baseball doesn't really make that much sense.
Maybe spend some of that big budget on an updated rule book for your manager. I don't know.
That was a weird situation that we can talk about in the 10th inning as well. The double mound visits by Dave Roberts that cost his pitcher a pitch clock violation with the bases loaded and Donovan Solano coming to the plate.
I will just say it for him. And look, it's 3:09 right now in Hawaii, but we're hoping that Woodsy will call in maybe in the 9 o'clock hour if he's up early over there. I'll just say it now for him, though. I hope Dave Roberts gets a lifetime extension for the Dodgers. As long as he is the manager of the Dodgers, we got a chance. We have a shot.
Well, I'm always a little torn on that subject, but he certainly hasn't gotten the most out of that franchise over the last few years. In the regular season, they've had some good ones. This year, though, beset by injuries, they have not totally been able to overcome them. Now, they're still in first place, 5.5 games ahead of the Padres. You win today, though, and I heard Sam Levitt talking about it on the postgame show last night. You win today, cut the deficit to 4.5, and you've got the tiebreaker in terms of the season series. So you know exactly all you need to do is finish with the same record as them at the end of the season. You've got a bullpen that's now built, and we'll talk about the moves that were made yesterday that is built to protect any lead that you can get pretty much after the 6th inning. You're trying to shorten those games and go, hey, we get ahead, we're going to be a very difficult team to beat in the last 3 innings of the game, given the arms that we've got in the back end of the bullpen. Is it crazy to think that the Padres could chase the Dodgers down? No, I don't think it is crazy to say that could be a realistic, legitimate goal in the last 2 months of the season. But it probably has to start with another win tonight in Game 2 of the series with Dylan Cease making his first start since the no-hitter going up against Clayton Kershaw at 5:40 today, 4:40 Eco Water SoCal pregame show with Sammy Levitt. But again, we got so much else to talk about from the game last night and the trade deadline. We will kind of set the menu. Why don't we just take a timeout right now, Paulie?
Okay.
We'll set the menu when we come back. I think we should talk about some of the trades, get to our Padres rewind, listen to all the calls from Jesse, and then at 7:30, I think we'll have all the calls from everywhere else that Paulie's been hard at work compiling this morning from last night's game.
I wanted to come in last night at like 11 p.m. I could not sleep. I couldn't go to bed after that game last night. I was so wired. I thought maybe I'll just come on in and pull the all-nighter. I still came in early, but I did get a few hours of sleep. But what a game. What a day for the Padres.
It was the kind of game that just leaves you the adrenaline flowing, leaves you wired, hard to sleep, but in a good way. All is good in the world.
I figured it out before we go to break. We were talking a few minutes ago about how this year feels. The magic, it's there. I don't know what this season holds for the Padres, but the magic is there. It wasn't there last year. And I looked at our chat on YouTube, and a lot of people were, putting PS in the heart, Peter in a heart, Peter emojis. And I thought maybe the baseball gods are smiling on San Diego this year because they sure as hell weren't last year.
1 year soon, the baseball gods will smile on the San Diego Padres, and we will have a parade.
Maybe someone is giving a little nudge
Maybe.
up there for the San Diego Padres in 2024.